We are two Leos fueled by coffee and driven by love.
I'm Bec, business owner, entrepreneur, and personal development coach. Now, as my life turned upside down 5 years ago when I was diagnosed with a terminal illness, that's when I learned to master mindset, to break free, and to break the prognosis I was given. Here I am, joined with my absolutely amazing and beautiful co-founder, mastering our mindsets together.
Hey, I'm Tanya, business owner, personal development coach, mommy of 4 gorgeous daughters, my reason to live, so that I can give them a life filled with positivity, inner peace, and so much love. Not only am I here to teach my girls, but we wish that our knowledge can be of value to all of you.
So, welcome. Welcome to another episode of Light Up and Raw. We're two Leos, fueled by coffee, driven by love. Today, we are going to talk about our course, Control Alt Delete. Now, you're probably sitting there wondering, why are we talking about the course? It's because it's important for you to understand the love that went into this project, because we feel it's important for our audience to understand why this was created in the first place and the impact that this project is actually designed to have. Now, that's my perception on why we're sharing the course. But as this business is built off 2 co-founders and my absolutely amazing business partner, Tanya, she is here also to tell you why she feels it's important that we talk about the course.
Hello. Yes. I think we just wanted to share everything that we've learned to better ourselves, to better our relationships, so that you can live a life filled with peace and self-love, a life that brings abundance in every aspect of your life. And what better way than to share with you everything that we have learned along our journey?
Absolutely. And I couldn't agree anymore. Now, before we get too deep into this course and what it means to us and why we created it, it's important for you to know how we actually met. And I don't think it was covered in our first episode. So I'll give you a little bit of a rundown, but Tanya always tells this story so much better. I met Tanya when we were in a network marketing company. Both of us were struggling with our day-to-day life. We were feeling like we couldn't talk to anybody else. We didn't actually know each other was going through what we were going through. Once we connected on this experience where we were both feeling hurt and alone, we were driven by love to want to help each other and help other people that might be experiencing how hard it is to get started and be consistent with personal development. So that passion is what ignited us to come together and work on a project. But Tanya, you tell this so much better, so take it away.
Absolutely. I just remember both of us feeling so out of place, very misunderstood, and just guilty for not working harder or for not moving fast enough in the industry that we were in. And when we found each other and connected, it was so that we could keep each other accountable, so that in this journey we realized how alike we were and how our values aligned with each other and our work ethic was very similar, and we both knew that we needed to continue to work on ourselves and search within us to be able to break free from everything that was holding us back. And that's just been the most amazing and incredible journey within itself. Just meeting you back and being on this journey with you is just such an amazing thing, and I'm very grateful for it.
The feeling is definitely mutual. I couldn't have asked for a better business partner and best friend. But Tanya, do you quickly, before we go on to the next question, want to quickly talk about our chemistry, how we've always been so connected, etc.?
Yeah, so it's just so funny because when we are trying to reach out to each other, it's like we are connected where I'm going to send you a message and you're going to send me one back. And it's like, I was just about to message you the same thing, or we were thinking the same thing. And when this course was created, we were both having those thoughts. We had, I don't know if you remember, Beck, but we had just had the call with Mr. Byron Nelson, and
Yeah.
he just went into our brains and our soul so deep that we were both feeling that we needed something else and something bigger in our lives, and we needed to help more people. We were already being people were already coming to us asking us for help, and we were already helping so many women that were lost in our industry. So I think that lit up a little fire in us, and we were like, you know what? I think it was you sent me this message and you were like, I think I want to create a personal development course. And I was like, shut the hell up. I'm thinking the same thing. What the hell? And you're like, do you want to do it together? Of course I want to do it together. So that's just the connection that we have, is that we can read each other's minds, and we are always aligned, and I've never had that before, so it's completely, and it's just a blessing to have
And
that. But
I think the biggest thing that changed me about that um, call that you mentioned with Mr. Byron Nelson was the one statement that I cannot get out of my brain is you can only ride one horse at a time.
yeah.
And to me, I was like, he's so right. He is absolutely right. And in that moment, that's when I was like, fuck it. And you can ride a horse with two people on it. So let's get on the same fucking horse and let's go.
Right.
But
What better horse than one that lights up your
exactly.
your ass? But yeah, that too.
So, with that being said, guys, let's take you through the meaning of the course. Now, our course is Control Alt Delete, as I mentioned in the beginning. And the meaning behind this is quite like out there and random. This didn't come from, oh my God, something deep within or something that meant something to us for years and years on end. This came because I was actually sitting at my laptop, brain dumping what we were going to do with the course. Now, I live in a very rural, or I used to live when we started this course in a very rural area, looking at the
Oh,
trees and
the
birds.
internet.
So I was just in my own little world and I deleted something. Now I have an Apple computer, so I was looking for Control Alt Delete on my computer, couldn't find it anywhere. And then I'm just sitting there, Control Alt Delete. And I repeated it to myself numerous times. And then I don't know how or what sparked it, but the universe just popped something in there that was like, control your mind, alter your thinking, and delete. And in that moment, I was like, send it to Tanya. So I sent it to Tanya. I was like, help me figure out delete. Wait, what do you think of this? So that's what came about with Control Alt Delete is to control your mind, alter your thinking. And what does delete do? Delete negativity.
Activity. Absolutely.
So, Tanya, do you want to start with talking about what is your course about?
Created this course just basically for anyone that has no idea where to start, right? Like,
Yeah.
the the main thing is to heal and to forgive, but you're not given the tools. You're just told that you need to let go of what, how do I let go? And it's so hard for people to grasp the idea of how to do that, how to manage those emotions.
Mm,
And we just created the personal development course so that you can grow, you can break free from the things that don't serve you, right? We all have things that are holding us back. So we want to share everything that we've done to just break free from that and just be your highest self and live at your fullest and highest potential.
absolutely. And I think along with that, the course is about reconstructing your thought patterns. Like, instead of asking yourself, why does this always happen to me? What is this trying to teach me? This is happening for me, but why? So it's reconstructing your thought patterns to grow into yourself, grow an abundant mindset. It teaches you, like you said, Tanya, about how to break free from the blockages you face and the life circumstances you feel are weighing you down. Because for myself, like with the diagnosis I went through, I could have stayed in a state of depression. Tanya could have stayed in a state of depression fighting for custody of her daughters, but she grew through that process. So, what makes our course special? So for me, because we'll hold your hand. We'll hold your hand beyond the duration of the course. We aren't just your coach. but we're your friend as well. We're not just here to take your money, do the course by yourself. We're here 24/7. And when we say that, we literally freaking mean it because we're on opposite sides of the world. So when Tanya's awake, I'm asleep. And it works well in that sense, but you try running a business with someone, that's what makes our course special because we make it work no matter what. Now, Tanya, what when you think of this, what makes your course special? What comes to mind for you?
Oh my God, so many things, but you're right. There's a big advantage of being on opposite sides of the world. And we just want you to know that even though it's a 4-week course, it doesn't end there. You will have lifetime access to this course. You will have lifetime access to us. We have a private group where we post and we support each other, and it just keeps growing. And it's just one of those groups where you can feel comfortable in sharing. You can always private message us as well. We're always open to listening and to helping further throughout this journey of yours. But you need to understand that it's a daily practice, right? That's why it's not just 4 weeks and it's done. I mean, we are so devoted into doing this on a daily basis. We are so encouraging of you to continue to work on yourself. And if you fall off the wagon, come back. You can always come back to it. So you could just reset and start again. Remember the feeling of how it felt when you started, and when you started doing the exercises, you can always come back to that. So it's always there. We're here 24/7, like Beck said. And if it's not her, it's me, but we're constantly communicating with each other just to help you and hold your hand and guide you through all of it. So I think it's pretty special.
Absolutely. And we, like you said, Tanya, we communicate with each other. So if I've got a client that I primarily coach because they're in Australia, but I know I can't get on a call with them, but they desperately need it, I fill Tanya in for you. You don't then have to go through your backstory. We're here to work together to give you the best outcome. And with that being said, I just want Tanya first for you to give a little brief of what your life was like before personal development, because this is always so interesting and so many people don't talk about it, but I want a snippet of your life before personal development.
Oh my goodness. Before personal development, I was just so full of hate and
Mm.
anger and resentment that I don't even know how my husband lived with me, to be honest. Like, I don't even, he must really love me, I always say, because I was just so angry all the time and so negative and just trying to just miserable trying to figure out why people were doing things to me, right? And I couldn't understand that everything that we go through is just a process for your growth, and it's a process for you to understand that it has nothing to do with you and everything to do with everyone else, right? So if
Mm.
someone does something to you, it's a reflection of them, it's not a reflection of you. And it was just, I was very angry. I would yell a lot. I would, slam doors and drive off and leave. And it was just not a nice and healthy environment. And I'm just so glad that all of that has shifted. And not only for me, but for my husband as well, for my older daughters. I mean, my two older daughters were talking the other day and they're like, we don't like, my mom's never hit us, or she's never like yelled at. Well, I remember once that she yelled at us, but that was like a long time ago. And that felt good. It felt good to know that my older daughters, 14 and 12, don't even remember the horrifying mom that I was 5 years ago. So it was just not a pretty picture. How about you?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I honestly was much the same. I don't have children myself to be yelling, but man, my siblings don't know how they still like me, to be honest, because whew, some of them, like, I literally would just go off my nut for no reason. My brother didn't come to my 21st because he was going through some personal stuff. And I remember being so self centered and so selfish that I was like, you should have been here. and cause this big argument out of nothing. And now, if that situation happened, I would have been so much more understanding and so much more like, look, these things happened. To be fair, I wasn't at yours either when I was 14, so call it even. But like you said, Tanya, you were very anger driven, and so was I. I was very much fueled by drama. Like, if somebody walked past and looked at me in a certain way, I'd be like, what was she looking at? Oh, she probably has no life anyway. Look at her. And to me, I used to tell myself every single night, I don't want to live like this. But I'd done nothing to change it. I'd done nothing to work on that. And yeah, like you said, those boyfriends and partners, whew, I don't know how they're still with us. But now, looking back, I don't know about yourself, Tanya, but it is the most biggest relief and the best feeling when they turn around and say, God, you've come such a long way. I remember what you were like in the beginning.
Oh,
And to me, I'm like, hell, if he can notice it, anybody can.
yeah.
And I was living every day telling myself that the end is coming closer and closer. I have a prognosis, so who cares how I live my life? And it wasn't until I woke up one day and realized that I didn't want to think like this anymore. I didn't want this life. And I remember one specific moment that changed my whole thought pattern before getting me into personal development. My dad actually said to me, why are you letting someone else control your emotions? And it was with my ex mother in law. We didn't get along. Let's put it that way. We were at each other's throats, and she'd rung me and said something nasty. I can't remember what it was. And I rung my dad in a frantic, and I was like, this and this happened, and rah, rah, rah. And he was like, Beck, why are you letting somebody else control your emotions and how you feel for that single day? Why are you giving that power away? And that hit me. That's when I started to go, you know what? Let's get into personal development. Um, and like you said, I'm so super grateful that we went down this pathway because it's a much better life on the other side. Remember, this is the only thing I want you to take from today. If you remember any piece of it, is to remember it's never too late and or never too early to start working on yourself. Tanya has two older daughters, as she mentioned, 12 and 14 years of age, who've already started the course. Now, what were you doing at 12 or 14? Because I know I certainly was not doing personal development.
I was definitely not. I was out partying
No,
ago.
God, it would have helped me so much. So, and it's never too late.
Yeah,
As my mum personally, she's taking the course and she, without saying her exact age, she's in her 50s. And for my mum to actually come to me and say, Beck, I want to do that course that you've created was freaking life changing. Absolutely life changing because she's grown up in an environment that wasn't positive. So she took action in her 50s to change that. And that's something that Tanya and myself are so freaking proud about. And same with Tanya's daughters, my younger sister who's 17. It just goes to show.
absolutely, Beck. And like we've said before, I mean, the hardest people to get on this personal journey with us is usually family members and the closest people to us. So it's just an amazing feeling and such an accomplishment to have, our home, our families doing this with us and growing with us. It's just such a great feeling. And
Mm,
just I feel so blessed that we're able to do that as well. Thank you so much to everyone who tuned in. Thank you for listening to another episode of Light Up and Roar, where we're just two Leos fueled by coffee and driven by love, chatting with you today. Stay tuned for our next episode, and we hope to see you there. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you found something of value in here today, and we hope to see you on the next one. Cheers.